Hey everybody, Esther here, CEO and founder of Virtual Assistant Internship and the 90-Day VA program. Super duper excited to come and answer some of the top questions that we're getting about the 90-Day VA program. I'm going to try and keep this really quick. All right, so what are the top questions that you guys have about 90-Day VA? So first thing that I want to talk about is what exactly is a virtual assistant? And these are questions that I've been getting in DMs, that we get on our posts, all kinds of stuff. So a virtual assistant is somebody who basically, there's millions of online businesses out there, right? Millions of them. There's millions of all different kinds of businesses. And what is the one thing that they all have in common? They all need admin support. They all need help. They basically need an online secretary to help them do all the stuff that they need to get done in their business that they can't or don't need to be doing themselves. So that's what a virtual assistant is. It's one of the hottest growing online careers in the industry right now, part of a multi-billion-dollar industry of outsourcing, okay? People are no longer hiring support workers in a traditional office. Why would they want to pay for office space when they could just have people work for them online and remotely around the world? So it's been really fun. I've helped over 1,000 women now work online, and there's no reason you can't too. So let's see if 90-Day VA and working online as a virtual assistant is the best program for you. Okay, so the first question is that I get a lot, besides what even is a virtual assistant, Esther, is virtual assisting sounds cool and everything and being an online secretary, but I don't have a college degree and I don't have any experience and I'm honestly not very tech savvy. That is okay. 90-Day VA and being a successful virtual assistant making $20 to $40 to $60 per hour online can still happen for you. It's this incredible thing where you don't need a degree to be successful and make good money anymore. It's pretty awesome. So if you don't have that, that's what 90-Day VA is for. It teaches you all of the top requested online work skills out there right now, and it allows you to get jobs, get referrals, get internships, make a portfolio of practice so that you can show a potential person who wants to hire you, look, not only does this piece of paper say that I know how to do it, but look, my portfolio of samples shows you that I know how to do it too. And that's all that people care about. They just need someone to help support them in their business who knows how to do the tools that they need help with. They don't really need this like fancy expert who went to digital marketing school and has a digital marketing degree. Like, they don't care about that. At least not for being a virtual assistant. So anybody can get started, no degree. You don't need years and years of experience. You don't need to be this, you don't need to know how to code and be super tech savvy. You need a laptop, you need a smartphone, you need basic computer skills like with the Microsoft Office products, like Microsoft Word, like typing, maybe some PowerPoint skills, and know how to do email and create calendar. But even that stuff you can learn. I can teach you. Everything else is included in the 90-Day VA curriculum to teach you. So it's from 0 to hero in 90 days or less. That's the whole point of it. Otherwise, why would you take a course, right? If you already knew everything. And then the other question I get is, I already work a full-time job, or I'm a full-time student. Some of you have kids that you're with all day long. How does this work with that? How does the course work with that? And then also, how does Once I'm a Virtual Assistant work with that too? And so here's how it works. Basically, virtual assistant jobs, there's all different kinds of them. Well, let's start with the course. So the 90-Day VA course, it's flex time. So once you join, so let's say you enrolled today, and the link is in this video. If you're on Instagram, it's on my bio. Let's say you joined right today. Then you would get instant access to all the coursework, everything. You would get our templates for resumes, my class about how to get picked for jobs, all of the tricks. You get all of it right away. And you get daily job postings as well, so that you can start to apply for stuff as soon as you feel like you're ready. If you want to finish all of the coursework in 90 days, you only have to do 3 to 5 hours per week total, that's homework included, in order to finish in the 90 days. Flex time. We do have about every week group calls or get shiz done calls where we try to get on live and help and support each other, led by my team, but they're optional, and we have them in all different kinds of time zones. But really the like core of it is just 3 to 5 hours per week. So raise your hand if you can do 3 to 5 hours per week of flexible time in addition to your job or your kids in between nap time. I think we can all do that, right? And if you already are like, okay, cool, so then what about after that though? How do I get a job? How do I work when I have all this other stuff going on? Like I said, full-time job, kids. So in that case, what you can do is you can actually look for virtual assistant jobs that are only 5 hours per week, maybe 10 hours a week, 20 hours a week. There are a bunch that are full-time as well. If you want to completely replace what you're doing in an office environment or traditional work environment and you want to totally replace that with a virtual assistant and online job, you can apply for those jobs too. Some people have 3 business owners that they work with, and each of them are about 5 hours a week. Some of them work 20 hours a week for just one business owner. Some of them work full-time for a business owner. Everybody is different, and everybody wants to do something different. So a lot of my moms who have newborn babies, they're happy just working, 10 to 20 hours per week. That's all that they really want to do. And they're making double or triple what they used to make before. So they're like, I'm making the same and I'm working less. I can't, hey, and I'm home with my baby. Like, I'm good. Where are my moms at? Does that sound like a dream? It's not a crazy dream. This is what we all do. It's how I started. My son was 3 when I started. And then I have some of you that are working full-time and you want to transition out of a traditional job. And so then you can transition into working full-time. So you just apply for the full-time roles or something that's part-time but making the same that you were making before. So there's lots of different options. And most of the time they're all flexible. So you don't have to be like sitting at the desk 9 to 5 and you don't have childcare and it's a mess or something. Like most of the jobs aren't like that as in the virtual assistant niche. It's all flex time. Nobody cares when you're working, just as long as you're getting your work done. Here's one from Stacy. How many 90-day VAs still have a day job at the beginning, and is this manageable? Totally. Tons of them do. They either have that or they're a mom or they're both. So lots of them do it. I think in that case, you'd probably want to stick to the 90-day plans that you're just committing to 3 to 5 hours per week. And then after that, I'd want you to spend those 3 to 5 hours per week applying for jobs and really getting your resume and your application kit and all that stuff really nailed down. So it's totally doable. Athena is one of our awesome students, and she was making 6 figures in corporate, and she was able to replace it and completely quit her job in less than 6 months. She makes more now than she did then. And I've had 2 other students most recently that quit their full-time corporate fancy jobs after being in the program for 8 weeks because they'd already had enough work. So I'm like, well, bye, I'm done. So it's totally possible. All right, so let's keep going. A couple questions that had gotten asked before. So what about those of you who are not a native speaker? Anybody here that's not a native English speaker? You're like, I speak Spanish, or I'm from Malaysia, I'm from Indonesia. So for those of you that are from a different country, do not worry. You can absolutely work online as a virtual assistant. I would just say that you need to make sure you can go through the coursework that I have. It's me teaching like this, but with slides sometimes as well, most of the time, or over video of me showing you how to do stuff that virtual assistants would do. So you need to be able to make sure that you can understand enough to do the coursework and understand enough to be able to make the portfolio items. But I would just say that if you're a non-native English speaker and you want to work with Americans paying in American dollars or Europeans paying in European dollars, I wouldn't do the writing stuff unless your writing is above average and really, really killer. So that's an important thing to know. This is the first time seeing you live or hearing info on this. Do you have a website with the info? Shannon, I do this all the time. Where have it been? Yeah, I do have a website. It's linked in my bio. I can pop the link in here, but it's just a bit hard. So I will put it into my Instagram stories once this is over too. And if you're on Facebook, you can see it in the curriculum. I literally talk about it every single day. Where have you been, Shannon? Okay, so if you're not new here, I just would recommend that you don't necessarily do writing tasks unless your writing is above average, really killer. But there's still lots of stuff you can do as a virtual assistant that doesn't involve writing. audio editing, video editing, accounting. Like that's just a few of the types of things, web design and coding, graphic design. So we have students from around the world, Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, all over Europe, Germany, Italy, Greece. We just have some in the last year from Central and South America. So all over, and all of them are able to work online as a virtual assistant. So you can too. There's no reason why you can't as well. Okay. And how much money do virtual assistants make? Money, my favorite topic. Okay, so let's talk about that. So this really varies, and everybody's going to vary based on what their skill level are, based on what part of the world they are. That's going to determine how much they want to make, right? So typically, though, I would say that virtual assistants from like very little to no skills are around the 10 to 15 US dollars per hour mark. But if you're in a program like 90 Day VA and you've taken the course and you do have skills now, then you're in the 15 to 25 hour per mark easily. And then if you are doing it for 6 to 12 months, then you can go up to the 30 to even 50 per hour mark. And you just can continue to learn skills. The skills that we teach in the course can get you up there, like podcasting, video editing, all that stuff is like 30 to 50 per hour. So you can easily get into those higher end type of positions or just learn on the job. And so then after 6 months, you can say, cool, the next person that I work with, I'm going to be charging 40 per hour because now I'm able to do higher end work, or I'm able to qualify for the higher end jobs and I'm going to apply for those now. So you can just kind of continue to increase your pay as you go. Oh my gosh, you guys, my nose is itchy. Do you ask for that rate or are they offering those rates? That's about the industry average. So it's that's both, right? You kind of want to match what the industry average is with what you're charging. So like certain skills can demand certain levels of pay. So you want to learn the skills that are getting you up here, right? But we all kind of have to start here if we're starting from nothing, and then you can move up. But that's the coolest part about this is you can like double, you can triple, you can quadruple what you charge in like a year or two just by learning new skills. Nobody cares that you go get a college degree. Nobody cares that you don't have 10 years experience. All they care is that you know how to do the thing, okay? I hope that makes sense. Good question, Mimi. And then in terms of hours, like I kind of answered that before, but you can work as much or as little as you want. So some people only want 10 hours a week. Some people want 40 to 50 hours a week. I was crazy and I liked working a lot because I just liked money. So I worked like 60 hours a week. And then when my life got crazy, I kind of cut back and cut down a little bit. And then I switched to just project-based because I kind of wanted to do more seasonal, not seasonal, but like I didn't want to be crazy all the time, so I chose to do more project-based stuff too. So it's all over the place. That's the best part about this is you can align it with the kind of life that you want to lead and make it work for you and what your life is like. I want to do this, and I've been watching for a while, but I'm a full-time teacher, and I'm just not sure how to start this up. Megs, you don't have to be sure how to start this up because that's what the program is for, is to how to help you do it from step by step by step. I think a lot of people are like you and like, well, I don't know how to do this. So I'm overwhelmed. So that's what the course is for, right? It's to help you from where you're at now and get you to where you want to be. And there's a pathway, but there's also options. So it's like, here's the mountain up here. You can take this way, you can take this way, you can take this way, you can take this way according to what you need your life to look like. But you're going to know what those pathways are because me and the mentors and the community, we're going to help you to be able to figure out what the best way of working this into your life is for you. I will tell you though, I'm a former teacher as well. One of the reasons that I'm not a teacher anymore is because the pay was terrible and there was no way to move up without me going back to school and earning more student debt and working away my life to get that student debt paid for. Like it just was this horrible cycle. And then I saw the end. I was like, so great. So I just eventually can get to the pay grade I want to get by getting my PhD and being a principal. I don't even want to be a principal. And so that was when I stopped teaching and I moved into corporate, but I wasn't happy there either because the hours were insane and I had a family and I needed something flexible for my family. And so that's why I started to do the virtual assistant thing. And I never regret it. I make more money now than I ever would have as a teacher. And I work way, way less. There's a lot of former teachers that work online now doing this kind of work. So you're not crazy and you can do it. And all your friends are going to be like, oh my gosh, tell me what you're doing. I want to make money and not be working all weekend. Okay, how do I get paid? I'm afraid of fraud and giving my social security number. The jobs we post are all vetted. Like they're actually people from my community and I don't have like an agency where I refer out the VAs, but I have a hiring process that I go through with people. So all the jobs are vetted, and it's not one of those things where like someone messaged me on LinkedIn and I'm going to go on there and give them my social security number and get the job. Like, we don't have any crap like that. And we actually tell you how to avoid any kinds of scams like that. And we teach you how to not give out your social security number to anybody, because you can actually get a tax ID, and you get prepaid before you do any work. Like, there's all these hacks and all these things that I teach you in the program so that you can avoid any problems like that. Get digitally paid before starting work is the biggest hack. Okay, I'm in corporate. I'm an office manager, and I hate, sorry, I'm sitting on like a charger cord. Okay, I hate not utilizing my skills, and I'm always spoken down to. Bye. Like, I don't know what to tell you. That's how corporate America is. And if you want to move up, you have to really pray you get a promotion for 14 cents more per hour and kiss the right person's butt, hoping that maybe you played enough of the political game that you can move up. Nah, I'm not doing that. You're not doing that anymore. Like, the world is changing, and people are working online, and they're in charge of their own money. They get rewarded for learning more skills and doing more work and doing a good job, and they're able to make more money. It's none of this game, none of this crap, okay? So just, there's hope. I'm afraid of paying and then not following through basically on the course. Well, that's honestly like your kind of a thing. Like, I have tips and hacks that I teach people. So setting aside the time every single week. So it's hard with a teaching schedule, but why can't you just like do the course over winter break? Some students do like 30 to 40% of the coursework, and then they're working full-time online. So why can't you just buckle down for 2 weeks and get a whole bunch of it done? People do that all the time. You know what I'm saying? Or say, okay, so I just know from teaching that I was just exhausted and came home at like 7 p.m. every night, and I worked on Sundays because I had to prep for the next week. So I'm imagining that that might be your life. And you're like, how can I fit anything else in? So it's creating boundaries. So if you have a dream that you want to do something else or make more money or something, then Tuesday and Thursday evenings, you're leaving the classroom early and you're coming home and you're doing your coursework. And you have an accountability partner who's holding you accountable to that. So it's really just how much do you care about really changing your life and making yourself a plan to make that happen. What about data entry work or e-commerce? That's from Samrat. That's going to make you maximum $10 per hour for data entry work. That is not something I teach. That's not something I advocate doing. To me, that's getting you stuck in another crappy job, and I don't have anything to do with that. If you want to find data entry jobs, they have lots of them all over the internet. Plenty of them are not scams. I've talked about some of them before, but that's not what I'm about. I'm about you guys earning minimum 20 to 30 US dollars per hour using skills in an area that you're passionate about. Who's passionate about data entry? Nobody. So that's why I don't do anything with that kind of stuff, or like chat call centers. Like, no, like that's just not my thing. E-commerce is actually a lot of work for e-commerce because Amazon sellers need assistance really, really badly. So if you know how to use and manage Amazon stores and Shopify sites, then you can work on there as a virtual assistant. I don't teach any of that, but that is a niche you can get in. I teach the niche of content design and content work, podcasting, video editing, blog writing, social media posts and captions, like the images and the words. I teach PR work. I teach all the top requested skills that I'm getting from people asking me for virtual assistants pretty much every single day. That's what I put into my course. So that's what I focus on. Oh, Tara, you're welcome. She says I'm a great and detailed teacher. I love it. Thanks. Dana wants to join 90 Day VA next year, but in the meantime, she's learning and getting started. I love it. How did you double up on both virtual assisting and teaching before you got to just one? I did not. Good question. I switched to corporate. I was even more miserable there, and I just quit cold turkey. That's what I did. I had a spouse who had, amazing income from the military. We cut down. We lived simply. We were happier. I pulled my kid out of daycare, and I was fully working online as a virtual assistant after about 2 months. I just figured it out, and I applied for online jobs, and I learned skills, and then I did it. And then I was making $25 an hour, and I replaced my income that I was making in corporate. So I just did it. I was miserable and depressed and crying all the time, so I couldn't do it anymore. This is a great question, Nate. I love your energy. Why should someone choose 90 Day VA instead of one of the other VA programs out there? I love this question. Okay, here's why. I have made a system of skills training that is my proprietary system. You can't find this crap anywhere else because it's what I did for clients because I was being requested to do it. And I had clients ask me because they were like, you can do that? And it's called content repurposing. That is when a client can give you a piece of content, snippet of audio, a podcast they were on, something, and you can turn it into an SEO written blog post, social media posts, email newsletters, and you know how to set it up in 2 of the most popular systems. You can turn it into a podcast with show notes, with the graphics to go along with it. You can post it, and you can edit it and optimize it and get it up on YouTube. Bam! So many skills and so much value for somebody. And let's pretend that they don't have anything that you can content repurpose. And they're just like, even if you just learned the video editing and the podcasting, you would still be a cut above all the other people out there that are trying to work online doing data entry. So that is why. That's one thing, the curriculum. The other biggest difference is we actually have mentors that you build a portfolio as you go. So I don't just like talk to you about social media. Nate. You make an entire social media plan as your homework with step-by-step instructions. You submit it to mentors and they give you feedback so then you can have portfolio pieces by the time you're done to show all the people you apply for. This is why my success rates for students is so high and why so many of them have jobs, is because they're so well prepared and they're killing it. And then the last thing I would say is, how many of you have gone to college or taken certification programs or did an online course and then you finished it and you still were not making any money and still had no job, and now you're like, oh great, let me go do an unpaid internship for 6 months. I'm not doing this anymore. So we have daily job postings for students that you'll start to qualify after just 4 or 5 modules being done. Every single day, a job posting from my network or that we find on your behalf from qualified and legit business owners. All different kinds of jobs. Minimum pay is 15 to 20 US dollars per hour. That's the biggest defining difference. A couple other courses have started to do it because they saw me doing it, but it's still like not the amount of jobs that I get for everybody and not for the quality. Like, I have a hire form that people come to because I network on all of your behalf and I say, yes, I have a virtual assistant who can do this. And then they post the job just for you guys. So that's a big difference. So check to make sure that they're giving you skills training in these other competitive courses. A lot of them aren't giving you any skills training at all. They're just teaching you like how to build a business, which you don't even necessarily need to build a business if you want to be a virtual assistant. So they're not actually teaching you skills. And then a lot of them don't even include job stuff. So check. I'm not saying all the courses are bad besides mine. I don't know. I'm just saying I haven't seen any other ones that include all of the stuff that we do. Okay. Question is, Gianna, can I add this service even though I don't have any experience, but I know how to use Microsoft, pretty much the basics? My thing I always tell people is you can't be applying for jobs unless you can show an example that you know how to do the thing. So, and I don't know where you're going to find jobs besides like data entry and transcription. Like there's some stuff you can do without experience. I have a whole blog post about how to do that. And you can just go for it and just see those ones you can qualify for. But if they're going to ask you to do like social media scheduling and how to create social media posts, like what are you going to do? You know, they're going to want to see samples. So you can try and see what jobs you can find. Your free class is in 10 minutes. Do you have that on a regular basis? I do, but if you enroll in the free class and then you miss it, that goes into a lot more details about virtual assisting, and that's in the link in my bio. If you're on Facebook, it's in the Facebook. The free class starts all the time, and that one, if you miss it, it'll send you a limited time replay. You'll have 7 days for the replay. I'm glad it was helpful, Megan. How long did it take you to eventually leave your corporate job and become a virtual assistant? How long online? How did you balance corporate world and VA work when you first started out? I didn't do both at the same time. So I was miserable in my corporate job and I just quit. And I trusted that God had something more for me than crying every single day and being miserable about my life. And if that's how you feel, anybody right now, I would encourage you to think the same way. If you're absolutely miserable and you're like, I can't do this anymore, mental health crisis in our culture, to me, I feel like it's because of the way that corporate America runs and the way that so many of our careers are run and that we're told how to live. Get up, go commute an hour before the sun comes up, sit in a windowless office all day doing something you don't like, and then come home and see your children for 2 minutes and clean them and feed them and then clean everything and then go to bed. And then you get to do it again. It's like freaking prison. Like, no wonder we're all depressed and on medication. So anyway, that's how I got. And I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm miserable. And so I quit. And I had no backup plan. We didn't have a ton of savings. I think we had maybe 2 weeks of salary saved up, like nothing. I cashed in my 401k. Like, and I trusted that God had something more for me, and I busted my butt until I figured it out. And in 2 months, I was working 30 hours a week as a virtual assistant, and I replaced what I was making. Because when I pulled my kid out of daycare, like, do you know how much women spend at daycare? It's insane. Daycare, I didn't have to commute so much, so I didn't have to spend any gas money. I didn't have to buy fancy clothes to go to work. We ate way simpler because I could cook all of our meals, so it was way cheaper than getting the quick pre-made stuff from Trader Joe's. I was taking home the same amount of money. So stuff to consider. Natalie, I'm a new college graduate. I thought corporate was the way to go, but I hate it. Girl, we all know you did it. They brainwashed you, and they told you, go and do this thing. This is what you do, right? Everybody go and do it. And then you got there and you're like, this sucks. What are we doing? I know, that's what happened to me. You couldn't hear me, right? I'm so passionate about this because it's like this whole generation of people that are just miserable. I'm like, what are we doing? But nobody knows what else to do. So the answer is make your own online career. Learn the top skills that people are asking for. Find businesses that you want to work with in niches that you're passionate about. You guys, I have virtual assistants that are working in the pet industry. They write blogs about dogs and pets. How fun is that? I used to be a virtual assistant for interior design. Every day I got to post on Instagram an inspiring interior design room. Like, that was my job, to go find cool pictures of rooms on Pinterest. Like, this is the stuff that people are getting paid to do. So think of the businesses that you would get the most excited to work with, the niches, the brands that you're like, oh, that'd be so cool. And like, let's make it happen, girl. It's not crazy. That's what we're all doing. I have fashion people work in the fashion industry as virtual assistants. I pay girls to design me coloring pages, like, as virtual assistants. I right-hand business women. I'm right-hand people for a businesswoman. Like, if you just have a helping heart and you just want to do lots of stuff for people. Yeah. Okay, Emily. Esther, yes, this is why I joined 90 Day VA. I can't see my son because of work, and I just got my dream job because of the VA program. Yes, Emily, you did. Emily is making $30 per hour working part-time, and that's perfect for her because she has another business that she's building on the side. I remember you, girl. I saw your post. Congratulations. I'm proud of you. And then Flores says, I've taken other VA training, but I still can't land clients. Probably because they don't include jobs as part of the program. They don't give you templates to help you land the jobs. They don't tell you exactly what to say in your applications so that they'll actually pay you attention. They don't have a job board that comes from me, so you're automatically, oh, you're from Esther's group? Perfect. You get to the top because they know how well trained my students are. This is what I'm saying. Someone asked earlier, like, what's the difference between yours and other ones? I'm like, there's a lot of differences. All right, cool. All right, so it looks like we're winding down. I hope this was so helpful. Oh, I'm glad it was helpful, Asha. Guys, okay, I'll just leave you guys with this one thing, and then I will run because you guys know we travel full time, so we're traveling right now in San Diego when my family's here, which is really fun. But I will just leave you this one thing, because I was talking to the girl. I just got my eyelashes done, and we were talking about this. She was like, well, I'm encouraging my husband to go get a job for the fire department so that we can have benefits, but it's probably going to take a few years. And I was like, are you guys doing entire career and life decisions based on him getting health benefits? She was like, yeah, it seems important, and my parents told me it was going to be like $4,000 per month for healthcare. And I was like, what are you talking about? So I think that this is something that's permeating society. Us making decisions because of how parents, society, family, the generation before us is telling us is the way that we need to live. And I am telling you, it is not true. You can do whatever you want. You can be whatever you want. You can live in Bali and then travel for half the year. You can decide to buy a vacation home in the mountains and then travel for the months that you rent it out. Like, I just had that idea the other day. I was like, oh, let's do that. Like, you can just take your laptop and your family and go and do whatever you want. There is no rules. Yeah, health insurance is important, but I was like, why don't you just get an online job where you guys make 2 to 3 times more and then just can pay for health insurance yourself? It's not $4,000 a month. Your parents are nuts. They're like listening to the wrong talk news radio. Dream big for your lives. There is no reason that you need to follow the status quo of graduate, go to college, get a job in corporate, climb the corporate ladder, get your house and your cars, and have your 2 kids. I'm successful now. Success is up to you, and you get to decide what that looks like for your life. Every single day, take small steps in action to it. If you're not happy teaching, do something else. If you're not happy being a stay-at-home mom, let's add something to your plate to get you some more purpose. If you're a military spouse who just feels like you're flying through by on life, it's all about your spouse and his career, let's get you something else to do. The world is so big, the online and internet work movement is changing the game, and you can do whatever you want. So I will leave you guys with that. I love you all. I think you're amazing, and you can check out the link for the program 90 Day VA. So if you want want help getting to the online world, check it out, and I'll keep answering any questions that you have in the comments. Bye.